What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. It has been far too long, and I'm so sorry about that, but work has been a pain the last 2 weeks or so. I went from working about 20-ish hours a week, and being able to go to camp and fish or do whatever. In the last 2 weeks, I was working over 40 hours a week, each week. So needless to say, I did not have a ton of time to get out and do some fishing or record for you guys. But that's going to change in the next week or two. I'm back down to my normal hours, and this next week, actually, I have completely off, and it's going to give me an opportunity to go to camp and also record, among other things, hopefully an MTB Slam for the August box. We're going to get it unboxed real quick. I kind of already know what's in it because for whatever reason, this box shipped super quickly. So I got the shipping email, I saw what was in it, and I didn't really have time to forget, like I normally have, like I've been able to the last few weeks. But we're gonna get it unboxed real quick, and tomorrow morning we're gonna head north and hopefully fish a slam. Like I said, among other things, I've got the whole week, so I'm gonna be on the grind. Right off the top, we've got a Biospawn Vile Craw, a creature bait that I've been wanting to try for a while, and just never not to say that I didn't get around to it, but whenever I go fishing, I've settled into kind of my old familiars, the Rage Tail Craw, some other similar baits like that. So I'm at the point where I usually don't experiment as much unless I'm using Mr. Tackle Box baits. If you guys are more familiar with striking like I am, it's pretty similar to I think it's called the Rage Bug. It's basically the one that just has this slim profile and then the smaller arms up front. Color is called Sprayed Grass. It's a 4-inch bait, so it's a little smaller, I guess. I mean, it's still decently sized. I actually like this color for colors like this for most types of water. That green pumpkin's pretty natural, and then you've also got on the back side there, I don't know if you'll be able to see it in the light, but you've also got a purple hue on the back with all those flecks on the inside. So it's pretty good it's pretty natural looking for clearer water, but it's also all that flash will probably stand out in some stained water as well. Next is the Lunker Hunt Reactor. It's a part of their Impact series. Looks like just a average lipless crankbait. I mean, I've said it before with a bunch of different bait types. Once you develop a popular bait type, there's only so much you can do with developing it. And a lipless crankbait's been around for a long time. It's a lot of people's go-tos. I don't use them a ton, but I've caught some good small and largemouth on them, and some pike as well. I catch them pretty well in the spring on the craw colors. That's usually a lot of people like Carl's Bait and Tackle Warehouse, a lot of companies like that. That fire craw, that color like that is one of the top 3 go-to baits for the spring. So it's no surprise that I usually get it done. But this time of year, especially getting into the fall a little bit more, but in the later summer as well, as if you can find some areas where the water is a little cooler, if you find some active smallmouth, they're doing a lot of heavy feeding on bait fish. This silver will do really well. It's a really good bait fish imitator. It talked on the back how it's got a pretty tight wobble. It's got quite a bit of rattle, obviously. I also really like the smaller hooks on here. I feel like a lot of lipless crankbaits and similar style hard baits go with huge hooks on the bottom. Personally, I think having those smaller hooks probably helps with that tighter wobble. And it probably, I imagine it's a little bit less of a distraction for those fish. They can focus more on the body of the bait instead of the big, shiny, sharp things on the bottom of it. Next, we've got the big boy for this set, absolutely. I feel like each mystery tackle box, especially these standard boxes, have basically the highlight of the box. It's usually the more expensive bait. It's the better, more well-known brand. Since their partnership, it's usually a Googan Squad bait. Sometimes it's a Carl's bait, but it's definitely the Googan Squad Revolver in this one. It looks like, I'm going to leave it in the box for now just because I don't feel like getting it out. You've basically got Googan Squad version of a Whopper Plopper. Anyone who's been around the channel long enough knows I have really bad luck with a Whopper Plopper, as much as I love top water. So I'm a little torn on this bait. I think it's definitely going to catch some fish. I think the action is really good on the Whopper Ploppers. I like that they have the torpedo, the propeller in the front with the 2 hooks in the back. More often than not, bass are going to come up from behind and grab that fish. So having both treble hooks close to the back, I think I'm going to prefer. I may miss less fish with that. Personally, I think the color is a little over the top. I think it's more to catch the angler's attention than the bass's attention. You basically got that sexy shad color, which I've always said I'm a big fan of, but it's called the Shattered Shad. So you've got those black cracks running through. Like I said, I think that's less about less about the fish and more about catching the angler's attention. I think it's a little bit showy, but I'll shut my mouth when it catches a big largemouth here in a couple days. I'll do these last two in tandem, I guess, just because they're pretty, I imagine they'll probably go together. We've got some Daiichi, I'm assuming that's how it's pronounced. I've always struggled with it. Some Daiichi 3/0 EWGs, one red, one black. Usually with their hard tackle hooks and stuff like that. In the mystery tackle boxes, they just do like sample sizes. They won't give you a full set of like 5 or 6 hooks. They'll usually give you 2 or 3 like this. I kind of wish they threw some more in there, but at the same time, 3/0 EWGs are something I'm not short on. So if for whatever reason we break off a bunch, I've got plenty of EWG hooks to replace for the slam. Honestly, that does not look like a 3/0 EWG to me. It looks closer to it. It looks like between a 2/0 and a 3/0. I think it's a good, more finessey size, which makes sense because the other soft plastic in here, which I hadn't shown you yet, is this Crypto Bass Baits, like micro Senko bait. Are you okay? Are you okay? So yeah, I don't know if it says anywhere on here. It doesn't, I don't think. It's just a basic green pumpkin, like micro Senko. I may use the 3/0 EWGs with that. We'll have to see. I think that honestly is a pretty good size for it. But that is everything in this box. Like, I wanted to keep this pretty brief. It's actually 10 at night. I got off work about an hour ago. I already knew the box was in the mail, so I knew I'd come home and record this unboxing for you guys. Unfortunately, I realized my entire family's up at our camp. I'm going up tomorrow morning, like I said. I sent everything to edit with up there with them, including my laptop, so I won't be able to get this video to you guys until probably midday Saturday. If I get up there and edit this out and get it out to you ASAP, it may end up being actually tomorrow night. We'll see. I'll get it up to you as soon as possible. And then next week, I'm going to be on the grind. Like I said, I'm going to really try to crank out a slam for an August slam. This is probably the most confident in a slam that I've been all summer. As you guys could probably guess by the fact that it's not uploaded, the July slam kicked my ass. I dedicated 2 separate fishing trips to just do the slam. I went up to my cousin's camp with him. We went out in the boat for half a day. Neither of us got a single bite. And then I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with Southern Maine in the area. I went down to Otter Ponds, and for anyone who's been there, it is a place where even on your worst day, you're going to catch 4 or 5 fish. It's quantity over quality, even though there's still some really quality bass in there. And I didn't get a single bite on any of the baits in 2.5 hours, 3 hours. So July clearly was not my month. So like I said, I feel pretty confident about this August slam, especially being up at my camp, a place I really know. I'm pretty confident in these baits. I won't promise anything like I promised last month. I've made that mistake more than once, but fingers crossed. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Later.